You know, figured all this stuff out, created an amazing world. Everything we have figured out the answer to. And now we figured out that our children will be just like cattle that are stripped of any way to protect themselves if we create a world where everything is just given to them. How are we going to fix a problem where proof beyond proof keeps on showing us all through every generation that when you don't have to work for something, when you don't have to anything, that you are setting up that child, that adult, that teen, that senior for a really hard fall, right? So how are we going to balance the scales and try to make it so that they will always live a better life and nothing is given to them?
Well, not everybody wants to live like that. Maybe we'll just give the people what they want. They can have anything. It's a world where you can do anything, so we'll just give them everything. And then, if they choke on it, well, that's their own thing, and they'll learn via the School of Hard Knocks. What do you think?
Yeah. So, you look and you see that not everybody goes through School of Hard Knocks.
What are you trying to say? My kids are privileged and yours are not?
Well, no. What I'm saying is the parents, look, world's strongest kid. Look, all those children, professional grade qualities of whatever you want to call it, musicianship, academics, scholars, before the age of 10.
Yes, you're right. But look, just because they're very, very good and skilled and knowledgeable and talented and all these positives, look at the other areas of their life. They're lacking in some areas.
Yeah, but you can't help that. You can't know everything.
But we do.
Yes, we do. So, and of course, off the record, nobody can know everything. That's what records are for. And that's why we create the Dewey Decimal System. And any other system where we can find out whatever we need to know. So, back to the pretend story.
So, what do you intend for us to do if we just give these kids everything?
Well, I was thinking, just like athletics, just like academics, just like pretty much everything, you make the child work for whatever their goal is. You teach them about the roadblocks and the things that will stop them from progression, right?
Oh, so what you're trying to say is if I'm teaching percussions and the art of sound, that look, we being the drums of war. We'll beat the future into our kids through grime and grind. We'll beat the future of progression into our kids through the percussions of life. Is that what you're saying? I like it. I get a real joy off of watching them strive against all odds. I like it. It brings out the primordial ability of what a human being can do to achieve beyond the ability that they ever saw in themselves. Well, that's just it, right? I mean, it works for some, and it creates perseverance, endurance, and has all these collateral effects that are really, really positive and beneficial. Stories, humor, you know what? It has so much good, the percussions of life. But you also see that just like the cattle that have been bred and all their physical attributes have been erased, leaving them vulnerable against pretty much everything. Now they're just, you see what I'm saying, right? What are you trying to say? Because I don't, where's this conversation going? Because you're pretty, how do you say, you're pretty wishy-washy. You ain't saying what you need to say. How can you say that? I'm just telling you, look, you can put a child between a rock and a hard place. You can do all these things and teach them lessons that they don't want to learn. But what I'm also saying is, look, you do the same thing to these other kids, and they are worse off, and they're only deteriorating and getting worse and worse and worse. You're creating a division where these children are not ever going to get better. And you're creating this as the source of where all the resources go to, unless, of course, intervention happens and we're able to help these kids, and only some of them will be helped out. The majority will be left behind. Well, that's in your eyes. You see, if we don't have kids who defy the averages, and we don't have kids who rise to the top, if everybody rises to the top, and there's the majority do not stay down here where they will never be able to rise, then what good is the system? You see, it's a system built on rewards. It's a system built on do or die. It's a primordial system, just like all through history. We will put you in the grips of death, and we will see who you truly are. Then I'm going to need a way to protect my kids and all these other kids, as well as the women they meet and they love and are forced
to leave or not be able to meet those people's wants and needs. Because you're eradicating their ability to be responsible, to take ownership, to do everything that they were actually born to do. I have to create something, or maybe multiple things, to protect them from you.
Well, you go ahead. You go ahead and you do that
Because we'll see how far you go. And if you go saving the whole world, who's going to save you? Well, that's what I'm trying to say. See, if you're the one pitting the world into a gripping fate of needing to be saved, and I am seeing the results all through history. I'm looking, I'm going, a lot of this stuff doesn't have to happen. And prevention really is a good thing. And it's a world created on artificial debt and artificial inflation. Then I have to at least try to create products that are going to give my kids a chance against the kids who can thrive in the world you're building. You get that, right?
So what you're saying is, me and you are going to be enemies.
No, that's not what I'm saying. And in fact, we both want the same thing. Only you are, how shall I say, you want a primordial world where the cream rises to the top and there can only be a limited amount of people who get to this pinnacle, whereas the majority are left down here and the resources go to those who are more capable because they've been giving more resources to get here. Whereas the system you've created, it is detrimental to everybody else. Look,
you realize Easter Island's there to show everybody that
we cannot have everybody live
this quality of life. There's a reason for that. If you go giving everybody the same quality of life, what's going to happen?
You need to have a division. Either that, everything will be just given, and you will turn everyone into defenseless cattle. Have you seen what a world like that would be like? It would fucking kill us all. You know, I've still got a responsibility to help my kids and the kids who are going to interact with my kids and my grandkids and my great-grandkids and my generations from now. It's my responsibility.
You don't even communicate with any of your family. You are an outsider. You are a black sheep. You are a sheeple.
Well, that's your definition of me, isn't it? Huh? See, there's no war between me and you. You want this result, and you want to help those who are their best. And I'm showing you that you're stopping the rest of these kids from having the same chances as these kids. And it's just like anything else. When you create competition, and there's nothing wrong with competition, it's just your approach is detrimental to those who are not taught the same as what your kids are taught. That's all I'm saying. So you can view me as the enemy, you can view me as the competition, as a waste of resources.
Look, you're breathing all my air.
Right? But I'm not breathing all your air. Right? I'm not eating all your food. I'm not all these things. But it seems to me that there was a saying,
why use my resources
when I will let you use your resources? Right? Just like in a fight. Why should I waste all my energy punching you when I will just step back and let you swing wildly until you're out of breath? And then I will step in and I will move and put all my force into a punch that you don't see coming, and that will be the knockout that will flatten you and probably knock you out. Because it's always things that you don't see coming that do the most harm.
Yeah, well, you want to build that world.
I've already created every single
contingency against people like you. Because I have fortified my position.
no matter where you go. Well, great. Thanks a lot.